Hello, hello, hello. Number 36 is here. Your order, number 36 is here. Welcome to episode 36 of the Shadow Call podcast. And, of course, the gang's all here. Myself, Levi, Scott, Walter, and James. We are back at it for the penultimate week for Royal Rumble month. We're nearing the end of Royal Rumble month. And tonight... oh boy, watching this show this morning, it brought back so many fond memories of me for myself as a kid. Tonight we are talking arguably the best Royal Rumble pay-per-view of all time, or top 3. Royal Rumble 2001. Royal Rumble 2001. So
20 years to the day almost.
Yeah.
We were discussing 20 years ago. I was 25. Walter, you were 21.
21 or 22.
Yep.
And I was 6.
I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yep.
Now everybody knows who's the baby.
I was 21.
Me.
I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
Although I won't be the baby for next week, because next week when we do 2004, my buddy Ricky Horror Master will be joining us for 2004. Awesome. So, and he's younger than me, so there you go with that. But before we get into everything for tonight, a couple of quick announcements regarding schedule changes coming up for a couple episodes around WrestleMania time. Because of the fact that WrestleMania 37 is pushed back to April 10th and 11th, 2-night event, we have decided to change up the April schedule a little bit. We're going to add a WrestleMania to the WrestleMania series we're doing. So not only are we doing 10, 11, 14, and 17... we're also going to add WrestleMania 7, and purely because, well, before we got going live, Scott's wife, Michelle's like, can you guys please watch a show without Jerry Lawler on commentary?
Yeah.
But regardless. So yeah, WrestleMania 7's added to the schedule, so that means... one of the shows we were going to do, which was Barely Legal 97, is off the schedule for the time being. It might get added back like in May or something like that. We'll see. But during WrestleMania weekend, we're going to move the episode to April 11th on a Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. to review Night 1 of WrestleMania and give our predictions for Night 2. So, something different for the show.
That'll be our first show covering the modern product. You notice that?
Yep. And this might be... what I'm thinking, maybe we could do this for, like, WrestleManias and SummerSlams going forward, where we talk about the shows happening the year we're doing the episode.
Mm-hmm. And we'll have fans back, so that means you'll be watching again.
Yeah, finally. Yeah. Jesus, it's been.
Well, here's my thing though. Not to go off topic. What are we doing at what's after WrestleMania? What are they doing for Raw and SmackDown after that? Are they going to let fans in there? Where are they going to have it? You know,
we'll see.
Baseball season will be just starting, so Tropicana Field will be out. They can't use the Amway Center because they'll still be having basketball going on.
Right.
Yeah,
they'll let us know when they figure it out. It's as simple as that.
Yep. Yeah. What I heard,
they don't even know what they're going to do for WrestleMania.
They don't even know they don't have a general idea for what to do for Mania. We have no idea what the card's going to be.
Yeah, like we're still trying to figure out like who the hell is going to win the Rumble matches.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They won't know until the day of, probably.
Unlikely.
Which is next Sunday.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, now that we got that covered, now it's time to talk about Royal Rumble 2001. So, Royal Rumble 2001 from the New Orleans Arena in New Orleans, Louisiana. I was near the arena there 7 years ago for WrestleMania 30. Sadly, didn't go to the actual arena because, well, quick story. So whenever I went to go for WrestleMania 30, we left from Alabama, Orange Beach, Alabama, Saturday morning. And we got there a little bit later than I would have liked, and that was partially because my dad was freaking out trying to find a hotel because he's never been to New Orleans. If we had gotten there like 4 or 5 hours earlier, I could have went to Access that day, and I could have went to the Hall of Fame. But luckily, I bought tickets for Access for Sunday as backup, so I got to still do that. But didn't get to the actual arena, go in, but just wanted to throw that tidbit out there. Anyway, so New Orleans Arena, New Orleans, Louisiana, with an attendance of 16,056 sellout with 13,481 paid. Oh boy, we'll listen to this live gate. $666,700.
Devil.
That's right.
And with pay-per-view buys, 625,000. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was this the most bought Royal Rumble of all time, or is it up there? Because I don't remember.
It might have been.
Because 625, that's a huge fucking number for a Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
You know what's weird? I didn't order it. I can't remember what I had going on, but Stark did, and he gave me the VHS the next day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't. I must. I think maybe me and the wife went out of town for something, or I don't remember. But I didn't watch it when at the original airing. I watched it the following day.
Yeah, I think one of my brother's friends taped the show as well. Oh yeah, kids watching. Remember
how many buys did you say the show had?
625,000.
Rumble 99 had 640.
So only by 15,000.
So it's like number 2.
All right. Well, there you have it.
Which for a Royal Rumble show to get over 600,000, that's pretty fucking good.
It's not like a common.
There are some WrestleManias that didn't get to that amount.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. But as far as compared to, damn, I didn't actually put in the info for 2000.
Damn it, Levi, you had one fucking job.
I was scrambling trying to put up everything, but I did get that the attendance was lower than 2000. So I'm going to assume LiveGate was lower, and I think pay-per-view buys were lower or higher than 2000. But I did get for 2001.
Okay,
so
give the number. Give the numbers for Rumble 2001, so I can.
All right. Well, I got that it was the attendance lower than 2000 because it was like 19 plus.
Nice, Ricky. Nice.
Oh, what did he say?
Pay-per-view buys were higher in 2001 compared to 2000, and LiveGate was way lower because the LiveGate for 2000 was over 1 million.
Yeah, I figured as such because with the attendance, but
it was Madison Square Garden. You're going to have a better attendance and LiveGate there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but compared to the rest of the shows from 2001, attendance third highest, with WrestleMania 17 being the highest. LiveGate fourth lowest, with Survivor Series being the lowest. Surprising if we ever talk about Survivor Series 2001. And then pay-per-view buys third highest, with WrestleMania 17 being the highest. And I'd like to see the people in the chat. I don't want anybody in here saying what was the second highest bought pay-per-view. I want to see if the chat can figure out what was the second most bought pay-per-view of 2001.
See, my trivia friends can. Actually, I haven't been invited back to trivia.
What? I wonder why.
Because you smoked the competition.
Most people won't know what it is.
They probably won't, but I want to test our chat's knowledge.
We're getting SummerSlam as the response so far.
Nope.
And yeah.
Heroes of Wrestling.
Close.
Beach Brawl.
Beach Brawl. WWF.
Jack Brawl.
Great Balls of Fire.
Super
Even closer. No.
We have 2 for SummerSlam and 1 for Mania.
Mania was number 1, Russell.
Number 1, so.
We're asking what was the
Number
second
2.
highest. Because Rumble was third.
Arthur just said Backlash. Or actually, he says Blacklash, by the way.
That's funny. No, so...
We know what you meant, Arthur. It's okay.
Yeah, so the answer, fellers and ladies in the chat, Invasion. 775,000 buys.
Yep.
Well,
The most bought non-WrestleMania. It was the most bought non-WrestleMania in the history of the company.
And that's fine, Arthur. We know what you meant. It's a simple mistake. It's not a big deal.
Although I'm not going to let you live it down because that's just me. Because I'm a dick. Anyways. Just kidding. But anyways, so yeah, those are your statistics. But Scott, you know what that means. What food do we have on mass?
Strap yourselves in, boys, because there's a lot of food to be discussed on this show. God damn, kept me busy this time. Let's also take into context the time frame that the show is happening. It's January 2001, and just around 2 months later, the wrestling landscape would change forever because both ECW and WCW would be gone.
ECW had already had their last pay-per-view,
right,
and WCW had just had Sin, which was their third last pay-per-view.
And they would still have what? They had Greed
and
Super Brawl.
Super Brawl. Yep. So business was about to take a big change, and not necessarily for the better, too, after what we saw happen at WrestleMania at the finish. But
20-year decline, people.
Yep. So what does that tell you? So for Royal Rumble 2001 from New Orleans, Louisiana, we have WWF New York. We have Devon. We have Drew Carey. We have the Right to Censor, and we'll talk a little bit more about Right to Censor later on. We've got a stretcher job. We've got catfighting, chopping, low blows, rough bumping, and blood. Good amount of blood on this show. For the moves, we have one Bubba Bomb, technically two Wi-Fi. We have a spear, a 3D, a super Russian leg sweep with the ladder, one teeter-totter spot with the ladder, one Walls of Jericho on the ladder, one crippler crossface, one headbutt off the ladder, one Indian deathlock, or as Jim Ross said, Native American deathlock, one figure four, one German suplex, one razor's edge, one moonsault, one pedigree, three stunners, one twist of fate, one swanton, one famouser, one rock bottom, and the move of the night, clocking in at 10, the choke slam. That includes the double choke slam that Taker and Kane do to Scotty 2 Hotty. For the foo, we have chair foo, belt foo, post foo, ladder foo, a lot of ladder foo, stair foo, fire extinguisher foo, sign foo, trash can foo, and trash can lid foo too, I guess you want to get technical. Bowling ball foo, stick foo, whatever they call those things that Steve Blackman uses, guitar foo, and of course, table foo. And that's your foo for Royal Rumble 2001.
And with all that said and done, let's get to the show itself. So we kick things off with the first of 4 championship matches on the show for the WWF Tag Team Championships. Champions Edge and Christian versus challengers the Dudley Boys. I'm just going to flat out say right now, this was a great fucking tag team match between these two. And no need for weapons. No need for weapons, and it goes to show you.
Good, basic, straightforward tag match, good psychology.
It is damn near perfect.
Yeah.
And that's why this match gets forgotten about, because everybody remembers the tables matches, the ladder matches, the TLC matches, but this is one of the few matches that you get a combination of the 3 teams and it has no weapons.
Yeah. Standard tag team match, but it was a great fucking one. And
the story heading into this show with the Dudleys and the concussions.
Yeah, I was just about ready to say that. Yeah,
you would never see today because of concussion lawsuits and stuff.
Yep.
We've got some extra foo, by the way, thanks to Arthur and Russell. Singing foo from the Honky Tonk Man, and hardcore foo, which I think would just be like a band name.
Hardcore foo. There you go. And I love how Arthur and Ricky earlier, when I said Invasion, the second most bought pay-per-view of the year, they're like, bullshit, no fucking way, what the hell? Well, do your research. It was the second highest.
If we ever talk about Invasion,
which I think we will.
Numbers up once again.
I think we will, honestly. Now that I've made people freak out, we got to talk about that show in July.
Yeah, exactly. Which, incidentally, you both Levi and I rebooked the Invasion of WCW and the WWF, so you can go to the archives here at the YouTube channel and go check that out. Walter couldn't, unfortunately, be there with us that night, but we will give him his chance.
It's a long one.
Yeah, it's a very long.
It was a
one.
2.5 hour
That
episode.
show. It would still be going. It was.
I was on there, so it's probably beneficial that I didn't make it.
It would be still going on like that Beverly Brothers Bushwhackers match from Royal Rumble '92.
Or Sting and Hawk versus the Nasty Boys from Starrcade '93.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Dudley's Edge and Christian, they always had good chemistry, even when it's non-weapon based. They still put on damn good normal tag matches. Goes to show you that with the strong tag roster you had to do matches that didn't involve tables, ladders, and chairs to make the division feel like a tag team division. And thankfully, we had a match like this where it was great, and both teams fucking kicked ass out there. And of course, the two wise abs, and watching Edge and Christian do it the awkward way, that was so funny.
It's their specialty.
Yeah. But I gotta say, though, the finish was very, very confusing. Like, because they weren't sure, like, who was the legal man, Edge or Christian. That confused the hell out of me. It's like, they first pinned... Well, Christian, he was getting pinned as Devon knocked Edge down into Christian's crotch. Mm-hmm. And then after Christian rolls out, you get the 3D on Edge, and they count Edge. It's like, who was the legal man in this? I feel like John Travolta in Pulp Fiction right now, in that scene where he's looking around like that's what I felt like watching the finish. But beside the finish, great tag match as the Dudley Boys defeated Edge and Christian to win the tag titles in almost 10 minutes flat, 9 minutes 59 seconds.
Damn.
So, very quick, but a great tag title match.
Yep, it follows Tag Wrestling 101, and goes right to it at the beginning. It's like, let's go right to business. Fuck locking up and chaining and all that shit. Let's just get right into it. Double tag spots, mirror spots. Evade out of the ring, get back in, blah blah blah. Get the heat, and back and forth. Hot tag. Devon get the tables and take it home with the big one and go home happy. So.
Yep, good straightforward tag match, good opener.
Mm-hmm.
Wetting the palate. That's what it's all about. Wetting the palate.
And the crowd popped huge when the Dudleys won the belts.
Don't give them the sizzle. Don't give them the steak. And that's exactly what Edge and Christian and the Dudleys did.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, Arthur, since you just said you forgot Wallace of Jericho food, that brings us to the next match of the show, the second championship match of the night for the Intercontinental Championship. Chris Benoit defending against Chris Jericho in a ladder match. First time ever in Royal Rumble history, a ladder match for a title. And
when a ladder match actually meant something.
Yes. Yeah. And the first one-on-one ladder match on pay-per-view since SummerSlam 1998 with Triple H and The Rock.
Wow.
Yep.
Because after that you had pretty much the tag stuff going on with the ladder match and the TLC matches coming up.
And this is also the match that you get the constant footage being replayed every time they talked about Benoit's concussion problems. This is the one video that constantly gets used. It's the chair shot into the head when he dives through the ropes. It's the big headbutt off the ladder. All that stuff is always used whenever they talked about Benoit's concussion issues.
And it's Benoit and Jericho's first one-on-one confrontation since Super J-Cup 95.
There you go.
Yeah. The first pay-per-view confrontation. One-on-one.
They had a match at SummerSlam 2000.
Yeah, they had matches at Backlash 2000. Yeah, they had Backlash, Judgment Day, SummerSlam.
This was the culmination of pretty much a 1-year feud between the two.
Yeah. 40 years ago, I'm old. I forget shit.
And the matches in the spring of 2000 for the Intercontinental title, they had a match at SummerSlam, which was non-title. They stopped for a while, and they brought it back up here.
Yep. And I will say, the feud between these two was one of the best Attitude Era feuds, especially in the mid-card with Jericho and Benoit. Yeah, Chris Benoit or Chris Benoit.
Chris Benoit.
But
Benoit on a boat, Benoit with a goat.
Oh God, I forgot about that segment.
Benoit taking a quiz, or the total jackass that he is.
Oh, I remember
And
seeing that.
I forgot to write down. I did count one. Get up, you son of a bitch! In this match.
This is
That's from Jericho, right?
Yes, it was. Get up, you son of a bitch!
and this was the match that led to the mutual respect between the two, which eventually led to their tag team in the spring.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good
that
tag run.
that unfortunately
That was a good tag
that sadly got cut short due to Benoit's neck injury.
Yep.
So,
But holy shit, this ladder match was amazing.
Yeah, one of the top 5 best ladder matches in the company. I mean, sadly, this match doesn't get talked about anymore because of obvious reasons, but still, the match itself, one of the best ladder matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Volumes of matches in the library that don't get talked about anymore.
Yeah, and it sucks for Jericho because you look back at Jericho's WWE, WWF time, it's like, yeah, the matches he had with Shawn, classics. Matches he had with Triple H in 2000, the Last Man Standing match, phenomenal. But his best matches were with Benoit, and they can't be talked about, and it sucks for Jericho because it's like
Chris Jericho in a ladder match for the Intercontinental
title.
That's in the descriptor on the network. That's all you get. But yeah, a lot of vicious brutality going on. They kind of went in the page of the Triple H Rock match and how it was more wrestling based rather than spot based for a ladder match, and just beating the fuck out of each other, especially when you watch the promo package of their matches from 2000 and the build up to this with the shutter spot on Jericho's gut that made him bleed out of the mouth. You could tell they were going brutal with this match in the build. And in the end,
Russell's a ladder.
Yeah.
Cher shot him diving through the middle rope, like, holy shit. Like, going back and watching this match, it's like, holy.
Yeah, especially with what we know now about concussions. It's kind of hard to watch some of this stuff back without thinking, ooh. But nonetheless, in the end, Chris Jericho defeated Chris Benoit to become Intercontinental Champion in 18 minutes, 44 seconds. We go from 2 highlights to... oh boy. Up next, the third championship match of the night for the Women's Championship. Ivory defending against China. Now, before we went on the air, we were talking about how fucking stupid this story was. It's like they're building up China suffering a neck injury after taking a spike pile driver from right to censor. And they do these interview segments with her in the neck brace, and then Ivory and Val Venus mocking China and JR. And then China's back in a month. It's like, okay, Stone Cold had to have surgery at the end of 1999, didn't come back for a real neck injury, doesn't get to come back to wrestle until Unforgiven 2000. China gets a neck injury in a storyline, and she's back in a month.
It's not.
I have 3 herniated discs, and I may never wrestle again. I can have surgery, and I'll never wrestle again. But 1 month later, I'm starting to feel better, and I'll wrestle.
And we were talking.
This whole thing. Okay, wait. This whole thing was done because China never wanted to wrestle women.
Nope.
She never wanted to be a part of the women's division, and it really got to a point where they did everything with her against men. What else to do with her? You kind of had to put her against women, but then it's like, well, how do we do this? Well, let's do an injury angle, kind of weaken her to make it look like, hey, Ivory has a chance. Because straight the fuck up, China would beat her in 3 minutes.
Yes. Yes. And
if China were still alive and had her shit together, she'd be confronting Brock Lesnar.
Yes. Yes.
Not now. Not now. Not now. That ship has sailed for. If she was alive today, that ship would have sailed for her. Would never have happened.
Except if she was alive and clean and got her shit together.
They would have been putting her with Nia. They'd be putting her with Tamina. They'd be putting her with the bigger women of the roster to make them credible threats.
Right. Okay, so if it was 2004 and she had her shit together, she would have been confronting Lesnar in the ring.
That would make sense. Yeah. Then, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, this whole storyline, and it and it concluded. Well, actually, I'm not going to talk about it because that's WrestleMania 17, and we're going to save that. But yeah,
This match was an angle.
This match
an
wasn't
angle.
even a match; it was just a storyline enhancer, and the finish.
Very weak.
Yeah, and then the finish with Chyna doing her patented handspring back elbow.
That's not patented. That's Muda's. That ain't patented.
Anyways, yeah, she does the handspring back elbow, and they build up like, oh, she had whiplash, and then just falls down in her right hand's in a fist, and then Ivory retains the title in 3 minutes 32 seconds, and then Lawler comes in to check on her, and then
very stable, like selling.
Yeah, and then Jerry Lawler comes in to check on her. Billy Gunn's out there.
Of all people, Jerry Lawler.
No, Jerry Lawler, who's been going
Why?
all night.
They used the Owen voice.
Once again, I don't care if it was the good old days. Jerry Lawler was a horrible color commentator. Horrible.
Yeah, and actually, in time frame, it would be very close to the time that Lawler would leave the company because his wife was playing around with some of the other boys.
One of the Dups.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's all fucked up. And and then Paul Heyman comes in and blah blah blah. But it's like, of all people, I mean, the walking human resource department asshole, Jerry Lawler, is going to be the one that's going to help China. Makes a lot of sense.
They had JR use the Owen voice for this.
Yes. Yeah, they did. Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Really lame. Really lame.
If they wanted to do a neck angle or whatever, don't fucking do this match. Just have her come back for WrestleMania.
And I also figure China had done the Playboy thing, and they wanted to appease her. They wanted to, try to take care of best they could. So we'll just make it as big as we can for her to keep her in line and make sure she doesn't throw a hissy fit. Since also, her and Paulie are on the outs now, and Paulie and Steffi are having fun. So, all that's going behind the scenes.
That was Gorilla and Jesse would have been 10 times better. First off, Jesse wouldn't be getting in the ring.
No.
Saying, she didn't hurt her neck. It was a thumb to the eye. Works every time. Oh, will you stop, Jesse?
And poor Ivory.
Yeah, poor Ivory.
Such a good fucking worker, and she had to deal with this entire bullshit. She had to deal with the Miss Kitty shit as well. It's like,
mm-hmm.
Oh my!
And she had to deal with Stacy Keebler and Tori Wilson when they came in and didn't know shit from Apple Butter about working.
It's like,
poor girl. Yeah, well deserved. She deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
nobody looked good in all of this.
No,
nobody.
And Arthur just said China was the first Playboy I bought. Well, there you go.
She outsold Sable.
Yeah, which is crazy. Which is crazy to think, but
maybe shitting on this, but let's not forget, China was a big star during that time frame.
Yes.
Yep.
One of the biggest women stars ever in that company.
Yeah, and hell,
mentally over.
And hell, there was rumored plans that she was supposed to have beaten Austin for the belt at SummerSlam '99. Could you imagine if that happened? That would have been insanely awesome. And it would have been perfect. But
would have been a PR thing for
put her over.
Yeah, and Steve wouldn't have done it.
Probably, yeah.
Steve didn't want to put Hunter over on that night.
No.
Nope.
But, moving on from this shit. Now we get to the penultimate match of Royal Rumble 2001 and the final championship match of the night. For the big one, the WWF Championship. Champion Kurt Angle with Trish Stratus versus Triple H with Stephanie McMahon. So, before I get to the match, I gotta say, is it just me, or did this match feel more like Trish versus Stephanie than for the actual title for some of it, at least?
Well, they had a pretty extensive cat fight, as I alluded to in the Foo there.
Yeah.
And it has to do with the McMahon. It's all about the McMahon. Doesn't matter what it is. See the main event of WrestleMania 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
But despite the Trish-Stephanie stuff, I thought this match was a great match between Angle and Triple H. And
they don't have bad matches.
Yeah, and the Trish-Stephanie
minus
stuff...
accidentally pedigreeing him on the announcer's table.
Yeah, at SummerSlam. Yeah.
They don't have bad matches. So.
But yeah, and even the Trish-Stephanie stuff didn't affect this match really all that much. And then when you had the final moment of them catfighting and then Vince trying to break them up and they're still going at it and he tripped Vince, that was funny. And then after that, we got going more with the match itself. And then the other story of this match, Stone Cold Steve Austin, because a few weeks prior on Raw, you had the match between Austin and Angle, where Austin had the match won until Triple H cost him the match. So Austin's like, you know what? I'm getting my revenge, you son of a bitch, and cost Triple H the title. Busted him open with the belt. And Angle picks up the win as Angle defeated Triple H in 24 minutes, 16 seconds. Now, and I know, James, I've seen you've already gotten questions about this going into your From the Vault next week about this show. But I think I could agree that Kurt Angle's first run with the title was very underwhelming, and it was mostly because he was like the second fiddle to other guys.
Oh, absolutely. This is one of those reigns where it's like he's kind of a mid-card world champion, in a sense.
It's testing him out.
Yeah.
It's like, he wins the belt because Rikishi interferes. He beats Undertaker because he does switcheroo with his brother. Yeah, he wins the 6-man Hell in a Cell, but there's 5 other guys in there. And he retains here because of Austin's interference.
It wasn't underwhelming to me. I was there when he won the title.
That's right.
No Mercy.
Yeah, I was there. Yep. No Mercy. Yep.
What made it memorable was my wife heckling the Rock fans behind her who wouldn't shut up throughout the whole match. They were screaming and yelling, "Rocky!" And she goes, "Shut up!" And then finally, the second later, she goes, "You know what? I hope he loses." And the Rock lost. And she turned around, she's laughing at them.
In a lot of ways,
Yes.
it seems like Kurt Angle was keeping the belt warm for Rock.
Yeah.
He takes the belt off of him and then gives it right back.
Again, it's a test run. It's a test run to see if he can hold it. Can he run with it? How are the matches he has with Triple H, Austin, Rock, all these other guys? It happens all the time.
Yeah, which all the matches he did have with the belt were good to amazing matches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Against the Undertaker match, but
right.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Taker in his snakeskin pants.
it's the Godfather.
Yeah, right.
What's crazy is after the belt goes off, he begins to grow.
Yep. Notice there's a lot of hair in this match. Hair that's not there anymore.
Well. In the case of Kurt, it was naturally no more hair, whereas Triple H, he chose to do that. And it's like, Triple H.
He was thinning out, though. I mean,
Triple H became the game. That the hairstyle changed.
Yeah, he chopped it. He chopped it.
He cut it down to like He-Man length.
It was like almost Shawn Michaels, Dutch boy thing going on there.
Yeah.
Survivor Series 2002.
Mm-hmm.
Shit pants.
Shit pants. Arm pants.
Oh, yeah, and Ricky said, if only it was 2003 Stephanie here. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Okay, Stewie.
All right.
But anyways, so with all that said, now on to the main event, the 30-man Rumble match. And one of the few Rumble matches I remember that had an extensive video package highlighting 5 different guys. Rikishi, Kane, Taker, Rock, Austin. And it was a great promo package highlighting like what each guy had been doing up to this point, what their ultimate goal is. Like Rikishi
being number 30.
Rikishi being number 30, so...
Yep.
But, so the entrants we have for the 2001 Royal Rumble match are as followed. Jeff Hardy, Bull Buchanan, Matt Hardy, Farouk, I'm not going to say his name yet, Kane, Raven, Al Snow, Perry Saturn, Steve Blackman, Grandmaster Sexay, the Honky Tonk Man, The Rock, The Good Father, Taz, Bradshaw, Albert, Hardcore Holly, K-Quick, Val Venus, William Regal, Test, Big Show, Crash Holly, Undertaker, Scotty 2 Hotty, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Billy Gunn, Haku, and Rikishi. Now, I didn't say this particular name. I'm going to get to him. So we start off with Jeff Hardy and Bull Buchanan. They go at it for a little bit until Matt Hardy comes in, and they both eliminate Bull Buchanan. Then we get a brother versus brother bit, and then Farouk comes out. Farouk gets eliminated by the Hardys. Then out comes number fucking 5. The one bad thing about this match, Drew fucking Carey.
No,
Made it!
no.
Not the bad thing. He's over at that time.
I don't give a shit.
I love him. Nothing wrong with it. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Building up throughout the whole night about Drew Carey promoting his own improv pay-per-view.
Right.
Then they put him in the Royal Rumble match, taking one of Lowdown's spots, because Lowdown won a match on Sunday Night Heat for one of them to earn a spot in the Royal Rumble, but that spot went to Drew Carey.
Yep.
And Steve, let me tell you this. And you know what the funny thing was? You got to respect this, Scott. You got to respect this. It made national television, bro. It made national television. You got to respect that, bro.
If Russo was there, that's what he would say at the
Russo
time.
was there. If Russo was
Right.
there, that's how he would explain it.
That's how he would put it over, exactly. And Levi has fallen out of his chair.
As soon as David Arquette held that title, the next morning, what was on the front page of USA Today, bro?
That's right, man. That's right, bro.
And Steve, you got to respect this. You got to respect this.
Got to respect that. Yeah, so Drew Carey comes out number 5, does what he should do. He gets in the ring. Hi, Levi. He gets in the ring. He doesn't touch anybody. He gets touched by Kane a little bit, and then he gets the fuck out of the ring. Not trying to sell. He's not having a fight. It's not like
Drew Carey from Kane.
It's not William Shatner and Jerry Lawler. It's nothing like that. It's not Snooki at fucking WrestleMania. You know,
Yeah.
He's doing what he should be doing. Gets in, goozled, get the fuck out. Tries to pay him off, by the way, too.
Raven still brings that up. Raven's like, yes, that's when I saved Drew Carey from the evil clutches of Kane.
And goddamn is a Raven a goddamn sack of shit in this match. My God, he won't jump. Remember, Kane goes to the sidewalk slam. He doesn't post right. And you're like, falls on him and shit. He jumps on Kane's back and almost knocks him over.
Maybe
Like,
it was-
dude,
maybe it was
Scotty,
that
relax.
that kicked in at the wrong time.
Uh-huh. And the Hardys doing their thing at the time, too. Bull Buchanan, go ahead and keep going with the numbers there. That you're back. Stop slacking off, kid. Come on, let's go.
I was just going to let you guys talk about Drew Carey, because if I had done it, I would have just shat all over him, because I'm not a Drew Carey guy. But anyways.
I'm not a Drew Carey guy either. But exactly. At the time, hey.
Then he made the Hall of Fame.
And he made the Hall of Fame.
And that's the reason why I hate this, because why? Why put this useless sack of shit in the Hall of Fame?
Bro, it was on the front page of USA Today the next morning, bro.
Oh, you put Drew Carey in the Hall of Fame over fucking...
Hall of Fame.
You put Drew Carey in the Hall of Fame over Cyndi Lauper, Andy Kaufman, Motorhead. Fuck you. Anyways.
It's a fake Hall of Fame, man.
Yeah, it does. It's a work, so it's okay.
I don't care.
There's a physical building.
I'm gonna take the quote from that guy. It's still real to me, damn it. Not really.
Levi is getting worked.
Yes, he is. Yes, horribly bad.
Don't work yourself into a shoot.
Thank you. Yes, listen to James. Knows what he's talking about. All right, back to the numbers and the names.
Anyways, now that I got that rant
Kane comes out and starts wrecking shit.
Yeah, once Raven comes into the match, then it turns into a short hardcore match.
Right.
But I brought this up before in a previous episode, and if only Adam Blumpy would be watching this show, I'm going to tell you this right now, Blumpy. I love you, but okay. So 4 years ago, back when he used to work for What Culture, back when What Culture was watchable, before they just started to become a bunch of pissant, whiny crybabies. Back when he used to work at What Culture, he did like the 10 things WWE wanted you to forget about the Rumble, and he brings up from 2008 when Finlay gets disqualified from the Rumble match, and he seemed so confused. He's like, "Tell me how this works, because to my understanding, with a Rumble match, there are no disqualifications. Anything goes. You can jump early into the ring like Al Snow did in 2001, but Finlay jumps in early and gets disqualified." Here's the difference, Blampier. Al Snow, when he came out, he didn't get in the ring until the countdown was done, whereas Finlay jumped the gun and got in too early. And that has always been a rule with the Rumble match. You don't jump the gun, otherwise you're out. That's simple. Plumpy, I love you, but get that through your genius mind. Well, half genius.
Hey, you're overrated, Adam. Fuck you.
So the Rumble is so inconsistent anyway.
But anyways, regardless, so yeah, once Raven gets in, all the way up and through until when Grandmaster Sexay shows up, yeah, there was a lot of hardcore stuff going on. Bowling balls, those martial arts sticks,
trash cans, garbage flying everywhere. Yeah, just everything.
Yeah, everything. And then after...
Kane just eliminating man after man after man.
Yeah, and then hell, from
full-fledged monster mode in this one.
Yeah, from Raven through from Raven through Honky Tonk Man, he got 6 eliminations in a row. Right there.
Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah, when Honky Tonk Man, which was like the one big, well, actually 2 surprise entrances in the match.
Yeah.
Whereas Honky Tonk Man, we saw him 3 years ago at 98 as a surprise entrant. He comes back.
Nobody remembers that.
Yeah,
nobody remembers this.
Yeah, everybody remembers this.
Competitive in '98. That's the big difference. He was
competitive in '98. Was there for a while, but here, he comes out with the guitar and wants to sing his theme song. Kane grabs the guitar.
Come on!
And then
never
tosses
drew a
Voorhees mode. He's in Kane's in Jason Voorhees mode. He's killing everyone.
That is until The Rock comes out next.
Yes, and The Rock comes out.
Yeah.
Then
it's like the Rumble starts. When The Rock comes out and it's Kane, that's when it feels like the Rumble actually starts, you know?
Yeah.
Like everything else was like preliminary, and then you had a hardcore match. Now you're getting into the main stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My son and I were watching this Rumble, and he says to me, of course, my kid has no filter. I got to remind. He goes, "Dad, the fact that Kane never won a Royal Rumble is complete bullshit."
Yeah,
Kurt Hawkins is a fucking jobber.
That's gonna be like the quote forever on this show.
I wonder if Kane not winning a Royal Rumble is complete bullshit is going to come up with the next school wrestling discussion.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Set that bar right.
But yeah, so the eliminations are as in order. Bull Buchanan, the first one, eliminated by Matt and Jeff Hardy and lasted 2 minutes 8 seconds. Farouk, the next one, eliminated by Jeff and Matt Hardy, and Farouk only lasted 58 seconds. Next up, Matt Hardy eliminated by Jeff Hardy at 4 minutes 45 seconds, lasting Jeff Hardy at the same time eliminated by Matt Hardy as Jeff lasted 6 minutes 36 seconds, both Hardy scoring 3 eliminations. So they got a little bit something out of this.
One was each other. So.
Yeah, counting each other.
Wasn't that the start of the tease of the Hardy breakup?
I think it was.
A little bit,
that nobody wanted to see.
Nobody wanted to see, and thankfully cooler heads prevailed after this.
Yeah.
And then Drew Carey eliminates himself. He was in there for 2 minutes 54 seconds. Grandmaster Sexay, the next one, eliminated by Kane as he lasted 1 minute 3 seconds. Steve Blackman next up and was eliminated by Kane, lasted 3 minutes 8 seconds. Al Snow, next one, eliminated by Kane, and he would last 7 minutes 8 seconds. That was so spicy. Raven, the next one, eliminated by Kane. He would last 8 minutes 51 seconds. Perry Saturn, the next one, eliminated by Kane. He would last 5 minutes 2 seconds. Then Honky Tonk Man, eliminated by Kane. He would last 1 minute 16 seconds. Then Goodfather, eliminated by The Rock. Goodfather lasted 13 seconds.
Yep.
Then Taz, next one, eliminated by Kane. At 10 seconds, he would be in there.
1 year after debuting, and then he lasts all of a few seconds.
He chokes out the champion.
It's Taz! I'm gonna choke that Oompa Loompa out!
Next up, William Regal, the next one, eliminated by Test, and Regal lasted 2 minutes 1 second. Test, the next one, eliminated by the second surprise entrant of the match, The Big Show. He had just come back after being in OVW for a few months. So, yeah.
Getting his head shrunk.
Going from world champion to OVW in less than a year.
Become a whiny fucking bitch. Yeah, you get sent to OVW.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And he got his head checked real quick when he got down there.
Yep. Next up, K Quick, best known as R-Truth, was eliminated by Big Show at 7 minutes 53 seconds he would last. Then Big Show eliminated by just one guy, The Rock. Big Show lasted 1 minute 23 seconds, but then after Big Show eliminated, pulls The Rock out from under the ring, choke slam through the announce table.
Nice.
I actually had that People's Champ Rock DVD in, and they kept showing stuff of Rock going over and over in that DVD.
Let's see it from a different angle.
Little Jimmy!
Oh, boy.
Let's show it in reverse.
Bradshaw, next one eliminated by The Undertaker. Bradshaw lasted 17 minutes 40 seconds. Crash Holly, next one eliminated by Kane, as he would last 2 minutes 31 seconds. Albert, next one eliminated by Kane. He would last 15 minutes 53 seconds.
What a career he's had.
Hardcore Holly, next one eliminated by The Undertaker, as Holly lasted...
How do you like me now?
Lasted 14 minutes, 4 seconds. I got an idea. How about I beat everybody, and you give me the belt? Val Venus, next one eliminated by The Undertaker. Val would last 10 minutes, 22 seconds. Scotty 2 Hotty, next one eliminated by both Kane and The Undertaker at 47 seconds.
All night.
Yeah, Scotty just coming out. Just like,
he has that look like,
oh shit, I am in trouble. And The Rock's still laid out on the announce table during
the floor.
This too. Haku, who, by the way, fun fact, Haku was the last jump ship from between both WCW and WWF during the Monday Night War.
The hardcore champion there.
Yes.
Yeah, he was the hardcore champion.
I'm out of here.
You know what?
Prior, he won the hardcore title on pay-per-view, and then week later, he's in the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
It almost makes me wish, just for WWF to get their revenge at WCW for what they did with Alundra Blaze, Medusa, tossing the women's title in the trash. They should have let Haku bring the WCW Hardcore title over and just burn it. That would have been awesome.
Lawsuit over that.
It probably would have, but still, that would have been funny. But yeah, Haku, next one eliminated by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Haku lasted 2 minutes 51 seconds. Now, this next elimination, it always scratches my head, because when Undertaker gets eliminated next by Rikishi at 10 minutes 45 seconds, he would last. Then it's Rikishi out by The Rock. He would last 2 minutes 35 seconds. So our final four is Stone Cold, The Rock, Kane, and Billy Gunn.
Yeah, one of these names just doesn't belong here.
I was just exactly. I had been practicing this.
Serious offense on Austin.
Yeah, he does.
That was the highlight of his career.
Gave him the famouser.
And gave him the finger.
Incidentally, I want to go back to The Undertaker being eliminated. Undertaker has one of the smartest spots with Rikishi. And age-old fact of wrestling, you don't headbutt a Samoan. Because what does he do? He headbutts him. Does it again. And Rikishi recovers. Wham! Kick. Gone.
Yep.
Very well done. That's right. I don't headbutt a Samoan. You got the head.
Off topic, my father finally discovered Nia Jax.
Finally?
He called me like 10 o'clock at night. This girl's wild. Is she a Samoan? I knew it. I told you that they were going to take over the women's division. I told you.
But back to with Billy and with Taker. It's like it should have been reversed. Billy should have been the one eliminated by Rikishi, while Taker should have been in the Final Four. Because there's
always that one guy in a Final Four that's like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, I just covered 1996. You had a Final Four of Shawn, Diesel, Bulldog, and comma.
At the time, maybe, but now it's like, again, you look at it in the context of the time too. They were trying to give Billy a spot. They were trying to push him into singles. Wasn't getting over, wasn't working. He was still an associate of China and all that shit going on too. And
just lost the Intercontinental title
to Benoit.
And Edge calls him Billy Bitch Cakes, and it's over.
It's done.
Really after when Billy won the King of the Ring and then got buried by The Rock in that promo on Sunday Night Heat, there was no way Billy was going to make it.
But my name's Billy.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking done.
Yeah, there was no way you were going to push Billy after that promo. No chance.
The biggest head scratcher Final Four is the WrestleMania 2 Battle Royal. Bret Hart, Jim Neidhart, Andre the Giant, and Russ Francis?
Russ Francis.
What the fuck is Russ Francis doing in there?
Why is one of the football players in the Final Four?
William Perry, who was over his shit in his hometown. Why wasn't still...
If you were going to have any NFL player in the Final Four, that it should have been the refrigerator.
Right.
Yeah.
You would think, but no.
They have Russ Francis. Well, I think his father was a popular wrestler in Hawaii, though. I think that's kind of why they did that. But they weren't in Hawaii; they were in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I said, if only Rock, Austin, Kane, awesome. Billy, it should have been Taker in the Final Four.
At least Billy was the first one gone in the Final Four. So.
Yeah, he was the first one gone in the Final Four.
You had the stare down between Austin and The Rock.
Wow.
It was like, hey, do you guys want to see this match again?
And the crowd goes nuts when they lock eyes, and then they start going at it.
Of course, Austin, his blade job, because Triple H comes out, beats the crap out of him. I think he freaking bladed the back of his head, too, because he just bleeding all
everywhere.
the fuck over.
Everywhere.
The only Royal Rumble I can recall was there's blood. Am I right?
No, there was blood in 07.
Royal Rumble match itself?
No, there was blood in 07. Taker bled.
Oh, okay.
Well, but I mean, it's like Austin fucking bled a gusher.
Oh yeah.
He almost hit the Muda scale. He did.
That's the beer. That's the beer flowing, and probably some ibuprofen he was down in too. That helps the blood flow faster. That's a little trick they tell you in the locker room.
Yep.
Yeah.
The moment of the match was the stare down.
The stare down. This moment. Oh my god.
It was the Hogan Warrior of the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Into the Royal Rumble.
JR just losing it the whole time.
Because the crowd is starting. Once they get the close up of The Rock, and then once they cut to the close up of Austin, you see the positioning of the eyes. The audience is all of a sudden starting to pick it up, and then slowly they're doing fucking Rocky. They're slowly grabbing the ropes and slowly starting to bring themselves up, and the crowd is coming and coming and coming till they walk slowly in the middle of the ring, and then they're into it. It's like motherfucker, that was good.
And JR just fucking understand JR at the point.
Flash for fire.
The MVP of this Royal Rumble match was Kane.
Yes. So Kane gets given the Iron Man spot, which you would normally see smaller guys get this spot, but the fact that they gave it to Kane is awesome. And wow. Oh, shut up.
Chair shots, garbage can shots, and doing with the hardcore shit, and then sticking with all the other big names and going right up until the end. Motherfucker.
And the last few chair shots by Austin, my God. As JR.
My God.
Pound for pound, maybe the best Royal Rumble performance of all time. Because when you look at it, 7 feet, 320 pounds, he goes nearly an hour in a fucking mask he can't breathe in.
Uh-huh.
And
takes all that fucking shit, man.
And not to mention setting at the time the all-time record for most eliminations in a single Rumble match with 11. That would last until 2014 with Roman getting 12.
Right. Yep.
So
11 and a half.
11 and a half.
But regardless,
that was the Jason Voorhees spot because he was fucking killing everyone in there.
Takes 3 chair shots to eliminate Kane, which puts Kane over.
Yep.
Huge.
And speaking of that,
what did they do after that? They put him against Kurt Angle at WrestleMania.
No, that was that would have
that
been
was
18.
That was
No,
18.
he gets put in the hardcore title
Went to the
match.
hardcore with Raven. then
Triple
Big
threat.
Show.
Raven and
They
Big Show.
reunited him and the Undertaker because this was basically Kane's babyface turn,
Mhm.
more or less.
Yeah, moving into that. Yeah.
Yeah. But in the end, Stone Cold Steve Austin wins the Royal Rumble match, last eliminating Kane, winning his third Rumble match and to date, the only guy to win 3 Royal Rumble matches.
Now, I got a question for all of you. Of the 3 Rumble wins for Austin, which one was his best? 97, 98, or 01?
Well, let's see. Well, 97, he was the Iron Man
peak
in
of
that
his
match.
He was at the peak of his overness here, so I'm going to go with this one.
Well, I mean, let's look. So 97, he lasted over 50 minutes, had 10 eliminations, I think, in that match. 98, he was the marked man, came in later, and then he comes in even later, but is bleeding buckets, and the story they were coming back from neck surgery to get
All
back
3
into
were really good.
All 3 were great in their own right. Like, for performance...
This one, I think... Yeah, I'll go with Walter saying this is his peak.
Yeah.
Because we know what's coming. We know what's coming.
This was his return after neck surgery.
Mm-hmm. He's over like crazy as always. When he's walking to the ring, you can just fucking feel it.
He's going to do whatever it takes.
Kane and take him in the ring. He's talking shit on the way to the ring. Like, you can fucking feel Austin's ready to fight, you know?
Yep.
So, it's like, yeah, he can do no wrong at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Kane definitely, and this is definitely, up until last year, this was the most dominant Royal Rumble performance ever.
Yeah, until Brock and Drew.
Until last year.
Yeah.
Just eliminated half the fucking field.
Everybody, yep.
Yeah. And you know what? I hope Lester comes back again next week and it does it and wins this time.
Mm.
I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with Lesnar drawing number 1 and throwing 29 guys out with Paul Heyman begging him, please don't. Please, Brock, no. Yeah, the whole time.
Paul Heyman on a pole match.
Oh, fuck
Rock and Roman, Paul Heyman on a pole match. Judy Bagwell on a pole. Let's get Paul Heyman on a pole.
With Kane having this dominant performance in this match, you have so many people who say, "Oh, Kane should have won this." No, he should.
My son, yes, today, 20 years later.
It's like, Kane is such an enigma when it comes to the Royal Rumble match because he is one of the better Royal Rumble match performers.
Mm-hmm.
Yet there's not a Royal Rumble match where you could say, "Oh, he should have won that one."
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, because I was thinking, let's say Kane did win, then what do you do with Austin? Where do you?
Yeah, well, how do you put Austin in the main event if he doesn't win the match?
Mm-hmm.
Which actually,
people look at the fact that he went nearly an hour and eliminated 11 guys. Oh, he should have won. No.
Yeah, what I will say, and this actually pertains to a question I sent for your video next week, James, and that's asking the question of, like, because when you look back at what he did at 17, yeah, he got the hardcore title, but he should have been in a much bigger program. As a result of this Rumble match, he should have been, like, at the very least, Intercontinental title picture. And
that was Jericho and Regal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Jericho Regal.
Plus, you turned Kane babyface. The only way you could have Kane in that is if you put the IC title on Regal before Mania.
Yeah. But yeah, I just look back, it's like Kane should have been in a much bigger program at WrestleMania. No disrespect to the hardcore title match. It was a really good hardcore title match. But come on.
Mm-hmm.
You should have done something better with Kane. But
like all the major players for WrestleMania 17, they were already all taken.
If you had like maybe just
it left Kane.
Just keep Big Show out of it and just had like Raven and Kane in a solid program where Raven was actually like injured the knee, the shoulder, whatever. And so Kane goes in with a little bit of a handicap, making it a little bit more, realistic that Raven could do some damage. And Raven could like form a new flock of some kind that all come out, beat the fuck out of Kane, but then Kane makes a big monster, no pun intended, comeback and takes Raven out, make him even bigger.
Then Pete Rose comes in and takes the hardcore title for like 30 seconds.
I like
it. to make it 4 straight WrestleManias.
That
Pete
fucking
Rose
chicken comes out once again, the San Diego chicken. And
they didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
That should have been the payoff, like a 30-second title reign. He finally gets it.
He finally gets one over on Kane.
Right.
And then gets in his limo and gets the fuck out.
Fuck out of there. Yep.
Oh, Kane catches him and gets the belt.
Well, yeah,
back,
they show Pete Rose showing up at the airport to get on the plane, and just as he's getting into the gate, clothesline,
and choke slam into the luggage thing.
Number 1, 2, 3 gets the belt back.
Yeah, that would. Now that I think about it, that's probably what should have happened. But anyways,
belongs to me.
This belongs to me.
Well, he doesn't have that.
I know that, but it's for the visual.
I am a
Roddy Poo Candy Ass.
I won. Let's party.
Oh, it hurts. Ow, fire, ow.
But anyways, so
South Park references, folks. South Park references here on the show.
But yeah.
Just the right to censor us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Fuck right to censor. Anyways, so this Rumble match, I would argue the second best Rumble match of all time behind 92. It's so close, but 01 just falls off by just a tad.
Yeah.
But it's still a classic Rumble match. If you've not seen this Rumble match, what the fuck you doing? Go back and watch it. So overall, Royal Rumble 2001, I thought was a fantastic pay-per-view. Aside from the women's title match, everything on this show was awesome. The tag title match was great. The ladder match was a classic. Even the WWF title match, despite the Trish-Stephanie subplot, was a great match. And an all-time Royal Rumble match.
Yep.
So definitely go back and watch this show if I were you in the chat. But now on for everybody's favorite, least favorite, and sleeper matches for Royal Rumble 2001. For me, favorite match, it's a two-legged race between the ladder match and the Rumble match. But if I'm going to pick one, by a slight hair, I'm going to give it to the Rumble match. Least favorite match, obviously the women's title match. Fuck that match. And then for the sleeper, I'm going to go with the tag title match. Because when you look at Edge and Christian and the Dudleys, people think tables matches, ladder matches, TLC matches. Yet they go have a standard tag match and it's awesome. So there you go. Scott?
I'm in total agreement with you. Rumble is my favorite match on the show. Least is women's match, and the sleeper's the tag match.
Walter?
Rumble's the favorite. Women's match is the least favorite. Sleeper, I'm going with the ladder match because the ladder match does not get mentioned anymore.
Well, for obvious reasons.
Yeah. For obvious reasons, though. It's something that somebody you got to research. If a newer fan were to look into it, they got to research a little bit, to find.
They could CGI in Eddie Guerrero.
All right.
Or just have Jericho wrestle Invisible or Orange Cassidy or something.
All right, that's James.
My favorite is the Rumble. My least favorite is the women's. My sleeper's the WWF Championship match. I feel nobody really talks about this match often.
And it doesn't help.
Really fucking good match.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that it was technically a heel match with Kurt playing babyface too. I completely forgot. I completely forgot to bring that up. That was a heel world title program for this one
Kurt,
show.
You're WWF champion because I allow it.
Yeah.
But now on to the final part before we hang out and answer questions. Push Job Endeavor, what do we got this week?
All right. I went through 3 different groupings of names before I finalized on this group. So I'm going to focus on the hardcore division individuals that showed up in the Rumble this time. So for Push Job Endeavor, everybody in the chat, please jump in here. Your 3 names of this week are Perry Saturn, Taz, and Raven.
Well, given circumstances,
I'll go. I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Walt, go ahead. Go ahead, Walt.
Push Taz because I still thought they could have done a lot more with him and because people knew who he was. Okay, all right. Unfortunately, this is Vince thinking that nobody watched ECW.
Right.
Job Raven because Raven's good at putting guys over. Raven knows how to work, and Raven's got the psychology edge down. Okay, he made Tommy Dreamer a freaking star.
Yes, he did.
Right? And only put him over once. Only the job job to him once.
One time.
And Endeavor Saturn because I really thought Saturn brought nothing to the table.
Okay.
At that point, I don't think he did.
Levi, what you got?
For me, Push Taz because Taz was a fucking beast, and I don't know why Vince didn't get behind him. Job Saturn because I still want to see the Moppy angle because I thought that was funny. And Endeavor Raven because you could even tell Raven just did not want to be there. He just did not want to be there. And you can tell this when he got to TNA, he felt like he was like, okay, I'm into this. Let's go. So even though TNA's not even in the conversation at this point.
No, not yet.
Well away from that. But even by this point,
we got blonde dreadlock Raven to get through next.
Right,
yeah.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So,
but according to Raven was getting increasingly flustered because when he came on board, they said they were going to give him creative, a seat on creative, and he had all these ideas. He had that one big one with Kane, if you remember or not. He was inspired by all the comic books he read. Do you remember that one? He kind of brought. I can't remember the whole details of it.
There was that one in the Seven Deadly Sins thing.
Yes, that one. Yeah.
He tried to do it wrong, but
but Brian Gewirtz kept shutting it down, and Brian Gewirtz was pissing Raven off, and
Yeah. James, what you got?
Get it, man. He doesn't get it. He's an idiot.
Push Taz, Job Raven, Endeavor Saturn, and keep Terry.
Okay.
All right, Scott.
That works. Well, hold on. We'll get to the comments here. So Russell says push Taz, Job Perry, and Endeavor Raven. And Ricky says push Taz, Job Saturn, Endeavor Raven. Okay. A lot of pushing for Taz going on here. I actually am. I'm right there with Ricky too. Push Taz, job out Perry, but keep him on the roster because he's a great technical guy. He's a good mechanic in the ring. He can work with anybody pretty much. And Endeavor Raven because, like you said, he's miserable. He doesn't like the spot he's in. He really shouldn't have been there to begin with because even a few weeks after he was there, Vince was like, "Who the fuck hired Raven? Why the hell is he here?"
Why is Johnny Polo back?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be here. I'm happy to be here. You know what? Now,
I would want to put Taz into a program because Jericho gets the Intercontinental title right at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
gets it here.
Gets it. Well, okay. I'm sorry. He gets it here, but he doesn't lose in the interim. So he keeps it over Regal. You were saying at WrestleMania.
He loses it to Triple H right after.
Yeah, which is bullshit. It's because of the 2-man power trip thing. But I would say put Taz and Jericho in a program over the IC title after WrestleMania to initiate the push for Taz there.
Yeah.
And really get, every time Jericho has a title defense, Taz runs in, chokes him out, leaves him laying, walks off, goes in the back. Taz, what was that all about? Get out of my face, gets in his car, drives off. And just starts doing that stuff.
Y'all say push Taz, but wasn't this around the time his neck was starting to fuck up again and he was starting to do commentary more?
That was coming later on, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's fantasy, so you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Neck problem? What neck problem?
What neck problem? Excuse me.
He went to China for his neck problems.
With that great therapist she had. So.
All right, but now time to hang out and also answer some questions. I'm going back through the scroll to find any good questions we had from earlier. Arthur asked earlier, which Ivory storyline was bad, China or Lita?
China.
Obviously.
China, way fucking worse. And we'll talk about it more when it comes to WrestleMania because that's ridiculous. And
let's see, what else was there? Russell asked, what do you think would have happened if Kane won? So, if Kane actually did win the Rumble and went on to WrestleMania, what would they have done?
WrestleMania would have been fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. No disrespect to Kane, but yeah. They probably would have... They probably would have pulled a 1997 and done something to change up and have Austin get this shot.
Yeah.
Thus waste this Rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. What was the pay-per-view in February? Was it No Way Out?
Or? No Way Out.
Yeah, it was No Way Out. So, yeah, something would have happened there. They would have put the number one spot contendership on the line. Could have been Austin. Could have been like a four-way or something, like Triple H, Austin, Taker, Kane.
Now, you'd be giving up that great 3 stages of hell match.
Yeah, you'd be giving up an amazing match between Triple H and Austin.
Yeah, Undertaker and Kane was working the tag title match on
with
that
Edge
show.
And
it was a 3-way tables match.
Yeah.
And then The title match was Rock and Angle.
Yep. Let's see. But yeah, what do I think? Yeah, if Kane ended up, yeah, I would say yeah, they would have. If Kane would have won, they probably would have found some way to take it off of him and give it to Austin,
or it would have had him cash in at No Way Out and have him take the fall in the title match, Rock pin him, and then you could have had the winner of the 3 stages of hell face the champion and have Austin win. Could have done it that way.
Yeah, you could have. Yeah,
then again, you'd still be wasting this Royal Rumble.
Yeah, either way, if Kane won and then got the shot taken from him, it would have been like 1997 all over again.
I mean, so it's like if it ends up being Kane and Austin, well, you just shit-can Rock out of the main event. You're not going to make a 3-way since you did that year prior with 4 guys. Then if you had Rock and Kane, what about Austin? So it's like there's really no room for Kane
and Angle
in the equation. No, Kane and Angle, no.
That would have been in the mid card.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ricky just said an interesting idea, 7 Deadly Sins match, but if would have been in a program, that would end in a rivalry kind of like now, or how Triple H and Shawn ended their rivalry in the Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood 04.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the idea that Raven had with the 7 Deadly Sins was an idea at the time that kind of made sense when you talk about it, but actually trying to execute it would not have translated well. It was something that he tried to experiment with on Sunday Night Heat, and it never went anywhere. It never really got any kind of exposure. And I don't think anybody in the writing department would really give a shit about it.
Nope. And let's not forget, Sunday Night Heat was on MTV at the time.
He was inspired by a Spider-Man storyline to do it, and and they thought that nobody was going to buy into that stuff. So
yeah.
But yeah. So I brought this up before we went on the air that because Scott and I like to go jackass all the time. During work today, I was watching a little bit of WrestleMania 14. I watched the dumpster match, and I showed my coworker Brenda, "Hey, there's Terry Funk, the guy who did that jackass promo I showed you many months ago." And I showed her when, Scott, you did the jackass thing, so and she cracked up laughing. So
this actually brings up something we were also discussing before we started: the right to censor. The angle of the time that we saw many members of.
The history of theme music.
Yes, greatest.
I don't know which is more annoying, that or Isaac Yankem DDS or Diesel's original theme.
Yeah,
those 3 are all equally annoying.
But the right to censor, we were saying, for its time was okay, but what if the right to censor was going now? Who would be in the right to censor? So look at the roster in WWE now, and who would you put in there? We have some names that we already talked about, but this is before Walt joined us and everyone else. Think about it. Think about the roster. Who would you put in right to censor? Who's your big leader? Who's your heavy? Who's the other? You got to have a chick in there too. Got to have a woman in there. So
tag team.
Yep, you kind of like your major star, then your mid star, your tag team, and your woman. So,
Baron Corbin.
What's role is he? He's the leader.
He's the leader. He's Stevie Richards.
Okay.
The Muscle, the Viking Raiders, because they need something to do. and it'd be a complete turnaround from the gimmick they have right now. That's the idea.
Weird. That'd be weird.
Yep, have them both grow their hair. Have comb
overs, and ties.
Cover the tattoos up.
Yep.
The chick Bailey, because she pull. I don't want to pull Bailey from what she's got now, but he's so fucking good at it. Yeah.
For me, I would have Sami Zayn as the leader.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, Sami Zayn is the leader because of the character he's been since he turned heel in 2017. Just seems to fit the right to censor thing. Even though it's like Sami Zayn's fine as a heel, but he's such a better babyface. Honestly,
No, I'd like him as a heel. I think he's fine the way he is.
Doing way better as a heel.
I don't know.
Lately.
I don't know. I just feel like
Lately.
lately. Well, I don't know. I just feel like with him as a person being like considered one of the nicest guys in the business, it's like I could, as good as I'm not discrediting him as a heel, but with how he is as a person, I could never buy into him being a heel. And also,
Nicest people are the best heels.
That's right.
I don't know. It's kind of a touchy thing with me, I guess. But I would agree Sammy would be the leader in my right to censor. The Muscle, I would have the Muscle be Corbin. Russell just said, well, we already have PC stuff. We SJWs. We don't need any more censorship. You're damn right. We don't need more censorship. But fuck SJWs.
Fucking heel crew in the
because if it's
the biggest heels in all of wrestling.
If a modern right to censor would be SJWs in wrestling, and they'd get their shit kicked in every fucking week.
Mm-hmm.
So Sammy the leader, Corbin is the Muscle because, well, I can't stand Corbin, so there you go. I'd love to see him get his shit kicked in. For the tag team, I mean, I like the idea of the Viking Raiders, but if I had to think of another one, oh geez, now I gotta think about who all's in the tag division right now. That's not Street Profits or New Day or Hurt Business. Yeah, I guess you really wouldn't have any other choice but to do the Viking Raiders. Or if they were to finally end the stupid Retribution group, have Dominic Dijakovic and Dio Madden.
I was just thinking that myself.
Have them two be the tag team for Right to Censor. And then for the lady, I'd go with Bayley because she's kind of like Sammy, even though I still prefer NXT Bayley over current Bayley, but I can agree current Bayley's really fucking good.
Do Chris Jericho. She is. She does Chris Jericho better than Chris Jericho. And the last 2 weeks on SmackDown proved that.
That's true, yeah.
She doesn't mess up a flip or anything.
That's true.
I got one more idea. There's 5. Now, this is just for uniqueness and creativity. Think about it. One of the members of the Lucha House Party.
Well, I know which one. I know which one. I know which one. I know which one. I know which one because I do not like this guy, Kalisto.
Kalisto. There you go.
I do not like Kalisto anymore, and it's mostly because he blocked my friend Super's Oh My God Barbecue JB on Twitter for no reason at all. Unblock my friend, you bastard.
I think he's at odds with the other two also. I think there's like an angle where they are teasing him.
I guess.
Well, there you go. There you go with that then.
All I've heard from people that know him and have worked with him say he's a nice guy. So I'll just go with that. He blocked her friend. I don't know. Hey. He's been blocked by David Stain, so what does that mean?
That's true. That's true. That's true, but still.
Steve Carino blocked me, then realized like, he's like, oh shit, I blocked Disney Walt because Steve and I talk about Disney all the time.
Nice.
He didn't realize, so he unblocked me.
He got high and forgot about it. James, who you got in the RTC?
All right. Sami Zayn is the leader. Baron Corbin is the Muscle. Reunite Tucker and Otis and put them in the Right to Censor.
Nice.
Tag team. Just for,
take Tucker and get somebody else to pair up with him. That way Tucker's got something to do. So
I just think it'd be funny having Otis in a modern Right to Censor.
See him go from the goofball, Tucky, oh yeah, to being serious.
Oh, yeah. Ricky says
they'd be acting like the two guys from Office Space, Tucker and Otis. They'd be like the two guys, the Bobs in Office Space.
Yes. And then for the lady, Bayley.
It's so unanimous that Bayley.
You guys just want to kill Bayley's career, don't you? Goddamn.
That's the thing. I don't want to do it, but she's the only one who I think will be. All right.
With the character, it's closer.
If you can't go with Bayley, then
Ruby Riott, because it'd be totally out of nowhere.
Have Mandy Rose.
Nikki Cross.
Thank you.
Cross.
Yes.
Thank you. He was listening in earlier.
That'd work.
So my right to censor, Johnny Gargano as the leader. Candice LeRae, of course, is the woman. And I was going to have, Austin Theory's kind of baked into the crust there with those two, so I guess he has to come too. But I would bring back AOP.
There you go.
And then put them in a program against Viking Raiders. So you get those tag matches in there. You get Nikki Cross in there. So her and Candice could have matches. You could have, not Sami Zayn, but maybe Daniel Bryan start pairing off with Johnny Gargano. And then for another young upstart, bring somebody from, not from NXT, but one of the newer low card guys. Maybe Shane from Retribution. He was in the tag team.
Oh, Shane Thorne. He's Slapjack.
Slapjack. Take the mask off, take that gimmick off, and put him with that crew, and you got a 5-on-5 program right there to start working.
I just had somebody, it just slipped my mind as somebody who I thought would be perfect for it, but I was just rebuilding it and trying to base off NXT guys. So if I had if I'd have an alternate group, Tommaso Ciampa would be the leader. He'd be fucking great at it too.
Great talker, yeah.
And all that. I had somebody else who I thought would have been really good with it too, but it just slipped my mind. It was another big guy, another big bald-headed guy, not Braun Strowman, but there was somebody else.
See, earlier on, I had said Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, he did.
He'd be great.
He did say Titus before we went live.
Hoorah, hoorah, hoorah!
Titus World Slide.
Daniel Bryan was on the verge. Had like a right to censor type.
Yeah, whenever he was doing the vegan character, the Planet Champion back in early 2019.
It's for your own good.
Yeah. He sort of had a right to censor type thing going.
Yeah. Real quick, Ricky said he'd have Baron Corbin, Bayley, Sami Zayn, Street Profits. And at first he said Corey Graves is a manager, but then he said, better yet, Samoa Joe. No, Samoa Joe should not be a manager. He should be in the ring and being champion. But
it's too injury prone.
But he's like Hardcore Holly now, and it sucks.
No, I got it. Tommaso Ciampa, Street Profits, Aleister Black. Yeah,
that's what Ricky's got there.
Black like a born again.
That's what Ricky's got there too.
But yeah, Ricky's saying the Ascension cross with Scarlett, Aleister Black, and Walter. That's no right to censor. That's like a dominating group. That'd be more the group to beat the shit out of right to censor.
More like Mormons. Dress them up like Mormons. Well, the right to censor kind of dress up as Mormons. Have them all come to the ring with the backpacks. And Aleister Black go around the locker room in segments trying to convert people and preach the word.
The left-hand path.
The left-hand path.
That's so.
Society.
You know what? I still find it so funny. Like Aleister Black and Zelina Vega are married, yet they're like total opposites in personality.
Sometimes it just works out that way, man.
It's like
it's a track.
Yeah, it's like Aleister being.
Yeah, Aleister's sticking around. I heard they got plans for him now. That's what the rumor mill
Thank
said.
God. They need to do something good with him.
It turns out Renee Young really isn't leaving WWE after all.
Yes, she is. She's hired by Fox, not WWE.
That's what I meant.
And that's a one-time thing.
And on
top, it's a one-time thing. It's not going to be.
And on top,
there's one shot. Okay.
And on top of that, CM Punk's quote interested in a WWE 2K return to come back in the video games.
And Tama Tonga wants a New Japan WWE crossover.
Oh boy.
Really? Oh, let's talk about the Tama Tonga and Elgin situation.
Oh yeah.
There's God. There's he. Wow.
Michael Elgin claims he left New Japan Pro Wrestling because he felt that there was bias towards Tama Tonga, saying Tama Tonga is a stiff, unsafe worker. And he left because Tama Tonga was getting praised and he couldn't stand to be around that. Tama Tonga goes on Twitter and says, in Tama Tonga pros, bullshit, motherfucker. Let me tell you something, motherfucker. You motherfucking shit. Yeah.
That's funny.
You have to go take care of your kid at home. Because you were alone, you had family things, and you need to be there for your son, motherfucker. So fucking motherfucker, tell me that you fucking Jim Tomatonga says motherfucker more than Jim Cornette.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's why he'll never
Or Samuel L. Jackson.
Because New Japan Pro Wrestling lets him say it in the ring. Him and
Right.
his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, motherfucker.
Ricky just said, I want a program with Cross and Aleister Black, make them a tag team. I feel like that'd be better off to be a singles feud between the two. But if you put them as a tag team, who are you going to have them lose to?
Yeah, and Aleister has to go back to the original Aleister Black, not the, this guy, not the pirate looking for a fight thing. The knock on my door thing. No, not that.
Yeah, that was.
Give me Nosferatu rising from the deep, and with the outfit and the music and all that stuff. Give me that guy. That can please. Yes, get the guy some corporate.
And it's funny. Before, during the Horseman podcast with Ricky, Artur, and I, who are the big wrestling guys on the Horseman podcast, we joke a lot about how Aleister Black should come out to like Freezing Moon by Mayhem. After all, he did wear a Mayhem shirt on an episode of NXT. Some people don't know.
He loves black metal, so
yeah, he's a black metal fan.
We'll probably come out some of that new fucking lame ass bullshit black metal that people listen to.
Or he should come up. He should come to the ring dressed like Immortal, and how Immortal is in that one music video where they're running through the woods.
Oh, the Call of the Winter Moon. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, with that one guy with the pointy witch hat and the robe.
Yes. I love the end. At the end, they're just standing there for a second, then they go,
and then they, and then up to the moon. One of the corniest but best music videos ever.
Spinal Tap of black metal, and that's what makes them the best.
Those are awesome.
Yeah,
especially when it comes to Abath.
Nothing is serious.
About a shower, a buff.
It's not about how good you play. It's about how good you look. Yep. I tried to do the stance and I about.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I tried to do.
And you play the music I play. That's what we do.
I tried to do the quick stand up and I about split my nuts in half.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I about heard myself there. But anyways, Ricky said if Cross and Aleister were to have a program, they would all have to be the big matches. Hell in a Cell, Buried Alive, Casket, 3 Stages of Hell. I could see them doing like a casket match just because with the characters dealing with death and the occult, it would make sense for a casket match. Buried Alive, maybe. Hell in a Cell, no. Unless it was like really big deal.
You're never doing a Buried Alive match without The Undertaker.
No.
Period. Yep. That's his fucking match.
Yeah. 3 Stages of Hell would make sense.
Yeah.
They could never do that. That would make sense to do that with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But now, have we heard anything about Drew McIntyre? Because he was positive with COVID a couple weeks ago.
Last I heard, he's cleared now.
Has he been cleared?
I think he's going to be back for Raw this week.
Okay. He obviously wasn't that sick because the day they announced he was positive, he was on.
But Mick Foley is still sick. Mick Foley still has it. He's had it for about a month now.
Really?
And he's held up in a hotel in England, I think.
Jesus.
He's isolated to quarantine. He just put a tweet out today, like explaining how he's feeling. He's very weak. Brain fog is really bad. Can't concentrate. Can't sleep. Doesn't sleep good at all. So, yeah, he's still dealing with it.
Jeez. Russell saying like the build up to Drew versus Goldberg. Yeah, but it's still like that Legends episode. Like I saw the clip on YouTube. It still is like a head scratcher. Like why are they making like Goldberg seem like the heel by saying, "Oh, Drew, you disrespect the Legends." Yet he was not.
No.
It's
really bad bad inspiration for it. Doesn't make sense.
Match is going to go about 90 seconds, so
yeah, it's not going to be long anyway. So
yeah,
sure. Sick because he's I just looked at just yesterday he was hanging out with ODB.
I don't think so. I just saw it today. He posted 10 hours ago.
I'm looking through his Twitter right now.
Yeah.
Not a wrestling question, but pretty much a question.
Okay. I found it.
Yep.
Not a wrestling question, so James, you're out on this one because you're out on this question. This is for the rest of us. Ricky asking, what did you all think of the new Asphyx album? It completely shocked me to the core, and it just jumped high on my list. Then again, at Steph Doom, I have not had a chance to listen to it yet. I am going to listen to it tonight, record the review, and it'll be posted on Tuesday. Because I am doing album reviews again this year. I thought I was going to do one for the new Accept album, but that's not coming out until next Friday. Which, by the way, I brought this up with Scott. On that new Accept album, they released a single back in October, a song called The Undertaker. Lyrically, and the music video fits The Undertaker's character, and I am hoping and praying that WWE gets a hold of that song and uses it for Taker's Hall of Fame package. It's so perfectly done. And not to mention the singer of the band is dressed up with the hat and the coat like The Undertaker. Come on. I know Triple H could probably pull it off.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, if you can get Power Trip to do your theme songs for a couple of shows, get Accept to do a song for Hall of Fame package for The Undertaker.
Who's excited for Sting's first match back?
Who's what?
Who's excited for Sting's in-ring return?
No.
I
don't give a shit.
Sorry. He's been used way too much already. He's been on every fucking...
I'm getting kind of bored of watching Sting on AEW.
Yeah. It's like, oh, when he showed up, oh my God, it's great. And then it's just like, he keeps showing
like, he's mentoring Darby Allin. I don't see the similarities. The only similarities I see between the two of them is they both stand up in the rafters and stare at things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big deal.
But their face paint.
Sting is a former bodybuilder. He's a relatively big man. Darby Allin is about 150 pounds, and guys like Brian Cage have to sell for him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
Sting's one of my favorite wrestlers ever, and I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I mean, what does that tell you right there?
That makes us delusional old fans who don't get it.
Apparently, yeah, we don't know what the business is, I guess.
Like, he takes one bad bump, he's fucked.
Yeah.
And two guys that are relatively known for being Brian Cage is known for being kind of stiff. Yeah. I don't know. Ricky Starks is pretty good. Ricky Starks is pretty solid.
I'm hoping they pull a bait and switch on this in some way that Sting does not get involved, or
they make it a cinematic match where Sting doesn't have to do any like extreme bumping or anything.
Yeah, I don't know. And all of a sudden, AEW the big group is not happening because the Bucks beat up Don Callis, and now Kenny's mad at them. So that's obviously not happening now. Mm-hmm.
That happened quick.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, and Private Party goes over to Impact and beats James Storm and who else was it? Storm and
I forget his partner. Who? Yeah, I forget what his partner is.
It was another Impact staple, a guy who was it wasn't Eric Young.
Wasn't it Alex Shelley?
I think Alex Shelley?
Maybe.
Now they're getting a tag title shot.
Right.
Yeah, but they beat James Storm on their first night there. I'm trying to figure out who it was.
Russell asks, you like Randy Orton on a mask?
It sells the gimmick.
Chris Sabin.
Chris Sabin, thank you.
They beat two world champions. Yeah. On a team that is always like losing on the Private Party's constantly losing on Dynamite.
Yeah, but they're number one contenders. Yeah, for the Impact.
Watch they fucking win those tag belts.
Probably.
El Santo? Ricky, I don't think so. I think the mask looks more like Dick Beyer, the Destroyer, than it does El Santo.
Oh, Orton's mask?
Yeah.
What's his retribution name?
Firestarter.
Yeah.
Pyro, there you go.
All together now. Pyro.
That's a stupid name.
Well, it's like, the people want to say, this is a stupid name. All the names of Retribution are stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, God. Retribution, the whole thing from the beginning was stupid.
Oh, that reminds me. wanted to put something over, and that's the shirt I'm wearing. Because this shirt right here, ladies and gentlemen, was designed by my very good friend Doug Hills. Good friend of myself and Walter, longtime friend of ours. Doug he designed this t-shirt, and WWE has it and sells it. So please buy this t-shirt to support Doug, because Doug also does great work with Marvel and working with a lot of different companies, getting his incredible graphic art talent out to the world. So big shout out to Doug Hills. He does great free range sketches too of the guys in Retribution. Any top name star these days, he's done them. He's just amazing. So Doug Hills, find him on Twitter, Instagram, follow him. He definitely deserves a great guy. And please give support to this guy.
Do it, Doug!
Do it, Doug!
Ricky said they better do a Firefly Funhouse match at Mania against Randy, and looks like they're going that way. I mean, it seems clear. It seems like that's going to happen.
Look at Randy's entire history, like with Cena last year.
Exactly.
If we're going to have a live audience, it's going to be different than last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Unless they come up with something like, the playground match, because you've seen Alexis on the swing set and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
Isn't this pretty much like the best Alexa's been in the WWE?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Put her over on Asuka. Main event on Raw. I mean, wow. Promo's been on point. The character is entertaining as fuck.
You think she wins the Rumble?
It's getting damn close.
I'm starting to think Bliss is probably going to win the Women's Rumble now.
Yep. And have her and Asuka.
You're burying Bianca, and you're burying all these other women.
That's the other thing too. It's like Bianca could win it too. It's I don't know.
It's between those two.
I've been hearing rumblings of Cena versus Goldberg at WrestleMania.
Ooh.
Really? I wouldn't mind that at all.
I'd honestly would like to see that, just so I could watch Cena beat Goldberg. That'd be funny.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
That match would make the most sense for both of them.
Yes.
It'd be like a special
at this point in their
attraction,
careers,
never.
Yep.
First time ever, never before happened.
First time, the last time, the only time.
Don't do it again like you did with The Rock and Cena, please.
5 to 10 minutes.
We hear game of the century all the time. And is it the game of the century? No.
No.
Yeah.
Once in a lifetime. How many times have we heard once in a lifetime before? And it's like, it's not.
Then that's the match. That's the match Brock Lesnar returns in. He wipes out Cena and Goldberg.
I would bring Brock Lesnar back to fight Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. That would be my,
Oh, no. I forgot about this. No. I forgot about this. Did everybody see, okay, it's on the New Day's podcast. Did anybody see on there who Big E desperately wants to have a match with?
Is it Brock?
Goldberg!
Oh, Goldberg?
So what if Goldberg beats Drew McIntyre for the title of the Rumble, Big E wins the Rumble, and it's Goldberg and Big E title for title at WrestleMania?
Oh, boy.
But internet whined for 3 months about Goldberg beating Drew. That's the only thing we can come.
And wah, cry me a fucking river and paddle me out to the island if I don't give a shit.
I'm never watching again!
Until next week.
AEW's so much better! They know how to treat their big talent!
Brock was better!
Until they put the belt out.
Another thing my son said today. We watched Rumble 2018 where Rusev came in first, and my son goes, "Dad, I miss Rusev." I'm like, "Well, he's on AEW." He goes, "Yeah, but he sucks now."
Not wrong.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Yeah, Rusev was great. Miro sucks.
Yeah. Oh, you don't get it. You don't understand it.
The grass is greener on the other side.
Apparently, Shawn Spears, Jack Swagger, and Rusev were all used wrong in WWE.
Yeah, well, guess what?
Shawn Spears can barely. I mean, he's on Dark all the time now. They bring him up once in a while to put him in a program to put somebody over. Then he goes back to Dark.
The chairman,
Swagger or Hager, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Hager's all of Hager's charisma is gone. He just stands there and stares.
Yep,
he's like
Sammy Hager.
Monster.
Yeah, that tag team though, that did pop me. The Sammy Guevara and Jake Hager, Sammy Hager. I popped for that.
That's
Oh God!
Which, that's the only reason they did it.
We the people thing got Jack Swagger over.
It did,
Stupid from stupid creative.
Poor Jack Swagger's the one who came up with it.
Yep, he is.
You also got to remember, Jericho forgets a lot of shit and doesn't retain a lot of information.
No,
now he can't even do the lion salt. So
he tried. Oh my God, that looked horrible.
I saw that.
I mean, he just did it a few weeks ago, and it was still picture perfect. And then this past week, this like stutter stepped. He didn't get his timing right, and goddamn his head. Like Jesus, dude.
Oof.
We want to shit on Undertaker all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You got Miro who was a fucking beast in WWE. I don't care what people said. I thought he was pushed rather well.
Very well.
This is the day and age. Is if a guy doesn't have 5 world title reigns, he was underutilized. Okay, that's the internet nowadays.
People say Moxley was underutilized in WWE.
bullshit.
They put every fucking belt on him.
He spent his entire time in the upper echelon of the card.
Mm-hmm.
He was a main eventer from
Moxley
day one.
even said in an interview he would not rule. He has not ruled out returning. He says he goes I may go back one day. He even said it himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he doesn't use AEW as a platform to bury his previous employer.
No.
Right.
And he even said
work.
it. And he even said himself that when he got to AEW, it's like the only problem he had was just the promo scripts he got. He just did not like, and that's understandable because, well, WWE scripting is shit.
Stupid.
Yep.
So, and that was really his only main criticism. He's like, yeah, and people want to say, oh, he just buried the shit out of him. No, he even said himself, he hopes they get better.
Yeah.
So
Something tells
how's
me
that a
I mean,
burial?
that's selective. The scripting, though, I'm pretty sure Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman are not handed scripts.
Oh no!
Thank God!
No.
Thank God
I think
for
it's,
that.
I think it's top tier guys.
Drew McIntyre is not handed a script.
Top tier guys probably have a lot more leeway. They're given a script, but they don't have to follow it word for word.
If
The newer
anything,
guys-
it's more a guideline than anything else.
Yeah, the newer people in the roster, they're probably going to look at the script and think, oh, I have to recite this word for word. When a lot of times you don't have to. You can go out there and kind of work off the cuff, but use the bullet points like you were saying. And they say, well, if you go off script and it's bad, don't do that. If you go off script and it's good, the writers did it. So
You can easily tell Roman, Drew, Bray, Owens, Sammy.
yeah, they're not scripted. It's bullet
Those guys
points.
don't get scripts. They get bullet points.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
Are you
seems
loving-
like Heyman is in charge of SmackDown right now.
Yeah, it does.
Seems
Yeah.
that way.
Have you seen the freaking promo back and forth with Heyman and Owens?
Oh God.
Oh my God! Give me that for an hour. I'll listen to it. It is just so freaking good between the two of them, and the condescension and the just dripping from their lips when they do the promos with each other. Like, Paul, do you want to go ahead? Go ahead, Paul. No, I mean it. Go right ahead. All due respect. I think
All due respect.
you
All due respect.
are amazing, but you have to understand your place in the business. Paul, listen. I know my place, and my place is to beat Roman Reigns. It just goes on and on and on.
You know, and it just goes to show you now with Roman's evolution on the mic, we go from 6 years ago, ironically around this time, 6 years ago, from saying probably the worst promo of the decade, you are a sniveling little suck-up sellout full of suffer and succotash, son, to now being one of the better promo guys
Jack and the
currently.
Beanstalk stories and
Calling Sheamus tater tots, like, ugh. Thank God we're not in that time period now with Roman.
AEW, you get creative freedom, but look what happens now when you give someone like Chris Jericho no bullet points. It just goes on and on and
everywhere.
Rambling and nonsensical. Giving Kenny Omega Don Callis was very smart, though. The promos are
Kenny can't talk.
Yeah.
Kenny's awful on the mic. Let's be honest here. Kenny can't talk.
Ooh, the internet explodes. Ooh.
Yeah, go ahead.
oh my God,
Callis is a great talker.
Kenny's the greatest of all time.
Jazz hands.
Okada made Kenny great. If Kenny's the greatest of all time. He has to thank Kazuchika Okada for making that happen.
Yeah. Great in Japan, doesn't translate well.
Will we call Okada the greatest right now? He's up there.
He's up there, but he's not the greatest. So.
You know who's really good? Go Shiozaki. And that's the thing, Noah, everyone's got such a boner for New Japan Pro Wrestling that they're forgetting Noah is really building steam. Go Shiozaki is while all that shit's going on in New Japan, Go Shiozaki picked up the helm of Mitsuharu Misawa and kept it going. If you've ever seen the guy wrestle, he is their Misawa now.
I haven't seen Shiozaki in a long time. Wow.
The Global Honor Crown champion. He's defending against Muda. I think Muda's going to get the belt, so that way Muda can have a legacy, saying he's the only guy to hold the Global Honor Crown, the IWGP title, and the All Japan Triple Crown title. Muda will go up, but I'm pretty sure that belt will go back on Shiozaki about a month or two later because that guy's carrying the helmet. And Noah, if you watch, Noah unfortunately is they're working their way back up. All right, they're working their way back up, but they've been having some phenomenal matches the past year. It's a lot of people say, a lot of the Japanese smart marks that watch nothing but Japanese pro wrestling are saying that Noah is 10 times better than New Japan right now, but nobody knows that because nobody watches it.
Nobody talks about it, yeah. New Japan has the money and the promotion and all that stuff, but it's always been like the last 5 to 7 years, it's All Japan, Noah kind of fighting for number 2. But like New Japan's way up here, they're both down here.
Well, the problem with that is, the problem with Noah and All Japan is all their flagship guys, they're all retired.
They're gone.
Except for Akiyama, who's going to be retiring, whenever.
They didn't take care of the next generation. They didn't build them up. Akiyama was like the last one of that time frame.
Not doing that died in the ring.
Yep.
When Misawa died, Noah really just went down with him.
Went way down.
But they're rebuilding. I've watched some Noah Supercards from this past year. The shows they're very good. And it's a return to the old Noah All Japan 90s style too.
Mm-hmm.
Stiff strikes, the slow, the slow build up. Not strong style, but what do they call it? Kings Road style.
Kings Road.
Yeah. And as I said before, and Scott and I both agree, that was one of the best eras ever. Was 90s All Japan.
Yeah.
Wow.
You had classic old school psychology and storytelling mixed in with the hybrid hard hitting style that you see in Japan.
Russell just asked, what did y'all think of Royal Rumble 2017? That's a hated Rumble. I don't think it was a hated Rumble. If anything, it was a disappointing Rumble.
Was that the one Roman won?
No, that was Randy.
That
was Orton.
Orton? It was fine.
It was all right.
The one with Undertaker and Goldberg in it.
And Brock. Yeah, because... And that's
also,
why...
Was it Cena and AJ?
Yeah. Cena, AJ
so
for
that
the
was
title.
A great Royal Rumble.
The pay-per-view was great. I think he's meaning the Rumble match.
The match itself?
The match itself was fine.
The match itself was fine, but it was a bit disappointing because they were
building.
Once-in-a-lifetime
showdown with Taker and Goldberg. That was cool to watch.
And that's why I feel like... Because they built this match up so much in the weeks prior. Then we get the match itself, and it's like... Whereas the year later, there was no build for the Rumble match, yet that Rumble match was really damn good.
Yep.
So talk about a night and day situation. And granted, Rumble 2017...
Goldberg getting the best of Brock, because my wife's a huge Brock fan.
Yes.
But with that Rumble match of 2017 too, though, it's like... fuck, I completely lost my train of thought. What the hell was I going to say? Oh, yeah. That was a Rumble match that was very hard to decipher who in the fuck was going to win, because there was like 6-7 different guys that had a shot, and none of the 6 or 7 guys I thought of was Randy Orton. And yet he won, so it was like... The one thing I didn't like about that Rumble match, no Samoa Joe. Because I thought they were going to have Joe debut in the Rumble match and have a crazy good performance. Not win, but have a good performance. I'm still mad that we didn't get Samoa Joe in that match. But he debuted the next night, so that almost makes up for it.
Again, pops Seth's knee.
Yeah.
Whoops. You okay? Yeah. I hope so.
Yeah.
Whoopsie doodle.
Yep.
But
sorry.
But Ricky just said, I'm still shocked Heyman isn't in the Hall of Fame yet. I think the only reason he ain't in yet is because he's still going.
Yeah,
that's why. So, and he said if Heyman gets inducted, make Cornette induct him just to piss on Cornette that he's miles away from the Hall of Fame. So he's like, still love Cornette over Russo.
Cornette would even do that, though.
No.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, he did it for the Rock and Roll Express. Might be a one and done
he
for him.
would for the Midnight Express if they would have
Yep, they would have to go in as a package. All four of them, technically. With Stan, Dennis, and Bobby, and then Jim. So,
What about Bart Gunn and Bob Holly?
You made it funny. What about Randy Rose?
Oh boy. Russell said, I thought it was good. It was mostly Roman being in number 30 that people hated. Yeah, it's because, well, if you're going to have Roman in there, why not put AJ in there? That was another gripe I had. If you're going to have Roman be in the match, why not put AJ in there? You have both of the losers of the title matches in the Rumble match. But whatever. Have Brock induct Heyman.
Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Heyman.
Yeah, that would be it. That would be it. That would be it.
Hey, Paul, why don't you say something stupid?
Yep.
Say something stupid, Paul. Shut up, Paul.
Oh, they could have Punk induct him, maybe.
Yeah.
They could.
They
Yeah, they could.
And also, honestly, I would rather hear Punk do a speech than Brock.
But in all honesty, if there's one guy...
Brock is hilarious. I love Brock's sarcasm.
I would say if there's one guy to induct Paul Heyman, Tommy Dreamer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree on that. Yeah.
Yep.
Dreamer.
Yep. I love Brock Lesnar's sarcasm. I mean, he's fucking hilarious. Especially the funniest part of Royal Rumble last year was when Shelton Benjamin came to the ring.
Oh yeah,
For the look on Brock's face. Hey,
Oh, buddy.
In the build last year's Rumble, R-Truth popped him.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got him.
You got him laughing.
You got him.
I will say this, and I guess another part of the reason why I don't really like hearing Brock talk that much anymore is because during like the match with Triple H at WrestleMania 29, there were two instances where he just made me laugh. That like anytime his voice cracks or he does something stupid like that, it's like I cannot take him seriously on the microphone.
So we do need the return of Brock Party.
His post-fight promo UFC against what's his name there?
Frank Mir.
My wife. My wife.
I'll have a Coors Light, because Bud Light won't pay me. Hang out with some of my friends, and I'll fuck my wife.
That's what's up.
Remember when Brock won Money in the Bank the next night? That was the best too.
Oh yeah, where he turned it into a stereo and just started dancing. As much as I've given Brock Lesnar shit, I gotta admit that was fucking hilarious.
Whenever Brock's on TV doing shit like that, I always go to Facebook and look for AJ Alfonso. Because AJ just fucking hates
him. Friend of ours, like, oh my god.
Every time. AJ has quit watching WWE 1,000 times.
Yep.
He's all fully committed.
He quits for 6 days, then he starts watching again.
Oh, he quits for no days. He's back on Monday nights watching again.
Russell just said Suplex City bitch is all he needs. Yep.
That's it.
And I still love the fact that not long after Mania 31, 2 different people made rap songs out of that. And it's like
Suplex City, bitch. Suplex City.
I know Heyman Hustle posted one, but I did not like that version. I liked the one where it was a British guy doing it. I thought that was so much more hilarious. Like he brought up like something to do with Sable reeling in with his rod and tackle or whatever the fuck, some kind of fishing reference. I haven't seen it in a long time. I don't know if it's still on YouTube or not. I'd have to look it up again. But you know what? I think that's a good place to wrap up. We've been going 2 hours. And really good episode. So once again, if you've not seen Royal Rumble 2001, go watch it. It's a great show.
Go to the WWE Network. It's only $9.99.
Yep. Be warned, there is going to be a lot of WWF censorship. I hate that so
Whatever.
much. But anyways.
Okay, it's dumb, but...
Yeah. But anyways, plug time. Scott?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. Scott Reacts. You also find me at my YouTube channel, Mr. Scott Reacts. And you find me on Twitch at Mr. Scott Rocks.
Walter?
You can find me on the Twitter at YourWaltBall, and you can find me on Instagram at smoking_Walt_ball, posting memes of my parents with Bernie Sanders.
That was awesome. That was fantastic. I love your dad totally healing on it, too, because he can't take it.
Oh, yeah, he laughed it off. He tries to be a good sport, but he knows that I did it to piss on his leg.
Yeah, which is...
But you can also find me at Mr. Scott on the Necrocasticon, where we talk about the finest in horror and metal with our good friends, author Tom Clark, author Skip Novak, and fellow pro wrestler and podcaster Sergeant Fury Dan Roberts. And you can find us every Monday on Spotify or wherever you get your fine-ass podcasting.
And featured this week, this Monday, Daniel DK from Exciter is our guest. Big shout out there to Levi for the hookup.
I heard Paul Stanley stopped by for that show.
Yes,
too.
Paul Stanley did stop by. Yes. Gene Simmons stopped by.
I go down here to my band Exciter. That's my song.
And thanks to the interview, Daniel wants me to be his pro wrestling manager announcer now. I gave him a big intro.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that episode coming out.
And also, I'm gonna make a couple quick plugs. Also, if you're into pro wrestling and extreme horror, do check out the book Pandemonium by Lucas Mangum and Ryan Harding. It is ECW meets From Dusk Till Dawn meets Evil Dead meets Demons. It's bloody, it's gory, it's full of fun.
Extreme.
You can find the paperback copy and the digital Kindle copy on Amazon.com at a very reasonable price.
James?
So Pandemonium.
Do it.
All right, you can find me on my YouTube, We Are Pro Wrestling, where I cover weekly wrestling topics. This coming week, I'm going to be covering, coincidentally enough, Royal Rumble 2001. Friday will be the actual episode on the show itself. The next day will be where I answer your questions. So if you want to ask questions about Royal Rumble 2001 for my show, go to my most recent videos, comment the questions. Also go to the community page where you can vote for the 4th week of February from the Vault. And you can find me on Twitter at WAPW_wrestling. Follow.
And finally, you can subscribe to me, YouTube, ThrashManiac99. Still been just mostly the Marvel Studios Cup. Although Tuesday, the return of album reviews, I'm going to be reviewing the new Asphyx album, Necroceros. And after Ricky saying that it's currently his album of the year, I got to listen to it because I'm a huge fan of that band.
Well, it's only January.
Well, still. Anyways, you can follow me on Twitter, ThrashManiac99, and finally, follow and subscribe to me on Twitch, ThrashManiac99. Some of you have been watching via Twitch. And before we go, hey, jackass, how are you tonight, sir?
What I need to get through to all you simple-minded people is the concept of subscribing, because it is as simple as putting on your shoes or going to the bathroom. But maybe for some of you simpletons, that is indeed a very tenuous task. So you just have to go down right there on your screen, look at the little red bar that says subscribe, SUBCRIB, with an E at the end for extreme, and click on it like you should have already done, you jackass.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Next week, Royal Rumble 2004, the finale of Royal Rumble month, with Ricky Karaman, Horror Master, my co-host of the Horseman podcast. See you next week. Until then, horns high to all you jackasses. There we have it.
Hey, Scott, you know what I'm trying to figure out? You remember watching the old 80s WFMS